Residential real estate can often comprise the largest portion of a person's assets. It can also make a significant contribution to their life more generally. But as with other types of investment decisions, property-related decisions can be often difficult. How should you decide whether to buy versus rent? How much should you decide to bid at auction, for example? How do you choose the best property? When should it be time to sell? Each of these can be difficult questions, and each can be subject to a range of decision-making biases or psychological distortions. And those distortions can have significant financial and also non-financial or emotional implications for a client. So these are the topics we're going to look at in this module. We're going to look at what are the decision-making biases that underpin some of these decisions, and how can advisors use those insights to help their clients. So how can an advisor use psychological insights to perhaps identify and work through some of the non-financial issues in the buy versus rent decision? How can an advisor use the research about happiness to help a client find an appropriate property that's going to align with that research and therefore lead to, or more likely lead to, their long-term happiness and subjective well-being? And how can an advisor help, for example, a client to avoid some of the psychological traps they're likely to encounter when they bid for a property at auction, or if they buy a property via a private sale? Now, many financial advisors won't be giving specific property advice. Some aren't licensed or authorised to do so. Some aren't necessarily experts in property, and that's fine. This module doesn't require advisors to be expert in property, but it does suggest that by being well versed in behavioural finance and some of the psychological issues associated with property-related decisions, that advisors can make a significant improvement and significantly contribute to their clients nonetheless.